Down the final stretch, LeBron with 29 and 11, making those 2 free throws to go ahead. Harrison Barnes, clean play here, Stan?
Yeah, we watched the replay. It was a great play by Luke Walton, knowing Bogdanovich was on fire, that the Lakers would jump on him. They do. He gets a chance to drive it, but he trips. And then he's in trouble going up against Anthony Davis.
At first glance, it looked like a foul on the play, maybe 2, but no, Smitty, right?
Yeah, the only thing is maybe his other leg might have hit LeBron's that maybe threw him off balance. Maybe. We don't get a chance to see it on this replay, but this play is unfortunate for him, but I'll go back to defensive possession for a veteran that I'm not sure that he thought it was a foul to give Stan, because the way he guarded LeBron and he swung as hard, I thought he was giving up a foul, and us not knowing because we're not there, I said, oh, well, that was a good foul. They take it out and you get another defensive possession, but they had no fouls to give.
It certainly looked like a take foul, and so you do wonder if he knew the situation in terms of fouls.
Lakers improved to 10-2 on the season, best record out west. Boston looking to improve to 10-1, facing the Golden State Warriors now. When you see what these two teams are doing right now in the East and West, I mean, how many times in NBA history have we talked about the Lakers and the Celtics? It does seem like, to start the year at least, that they are the 2 top teams in each conference.
It is, and I'm more shocked with the Boston Celtics. Reason why Gordon Hayward is out. The kid Williams was out. And at one point, Stan, they had no one over 6'8" with the Boston Celtics, and Jaylen Brown's been out.
Daniel Tice
has been out. They have found a way to just keep winning games and close games, and I think that'll bode well for them later on in the series.
There's no question.
Season.
I mean, they're just outside the top 10 defensively, you know, and when they have everybody, we know they're going to be a top 10 defensive team. And they got 3 guys averaging 20, and you can throw Hayward in there before he got hurt, you know. But this is what I love about the NBA, right? We've got the #1 offense against the worst defense, and you're thinking it's going to be a high-scoring game, and it's 100-97 going down the stretch here. You love it. Every night's a new night in the NBA. Anybody can beat anybody. It's fun to watch.
And it looks like Kemba Walker, of course, with the dagger for the Boston Celtics. Less than 30 seconds to go. Boston ahead by 3. Up that count to 5.
You can't just teach that. When somebody can be able to get separation and get himself an easy mid-range look, that shows a talent, because he drove him extremely hard, got an easy look.
Smitty, there seems to be a balance with Kemba and Jason Tatum early on. Tatum with the big dunk, Tatum with the other shot. We've seen him make a game winner this year, Tatum, and then Kemba making that shot there. It doesn't seem like they're struggling to figure out who gets the ball in what situation, Stan. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely, because they're moving the ball and everybody's playing unselfishly. And I'll go back to, I think that core group of guys developed their chemistry over the summer. It was the best thing probably that happened to them, USA Basketball. Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Kemba Walker all getting a chance to play with each other. I think it's gotten off to a quick start here and great chemistry.
Yeah, again, the Los Angeles Lakers also get the win. The Boston Celtics looking like they're just a few minutes away from getting that victory. Lakers get the win 99-97. LeBron James, 7th game this season with 20-plus points and 10-plus assists. Leads the NBA in assists, 29-11. Let's hear from King James.
All right, LeBron, you had to do a little extra work tonight. I suppose on that last play, though, that's part of the reason you have Anthony Davis, even if he's not doing as much earlier in the game in this case.
Hey, listen, when you got AD at the rim, he can make up for a lot of mistakes. But we played it perfectly. We did not want to allow them to be out on the perimeter, make them drive, and, got Harrison off balance a little bit, and AD took care of the rest.
You've been in the league for a while, played a lot of games, 40 more minutes tonight, early in the regular season. I know that's just part of what your mindset's always been, but what does that show about where you're at this point?
Well, I mean, the best thing about it is the last game I got to sit the whole fourth. So it's going to be games where I got to play high minutes. Obviously, Coach Vogel definitely doesn't want that, and we want to try to keep those minutes down. But we also want to continue to play great basketball, and I felt really good tonight. So, nevertheless, start the process of getting ready for Sunday, starting right now when I get in the locker room.
I guess we got a hint of how good you feel on that dunk on Bjelica. At what point do you realize you're going to go a little bit higher even than usual?
I just feel great, man. I feel great. I've been saying it all year, just to have my spring back, to have my quick twitch back, just to be me again. I feel great, and for me, it wouldn't be possible without my teammates and my coaches putting me in position to be successful, and that's it.
Last thing for you, you guys have basically taken care of business early this season. What does that do for the team as you try to grow together and to build into the rest of the season?
Well, we got to have a next man up, attitude, and next man up was KCP tonight. Hell of a job he had in that second half, especially in that fourth quarter, shooting the ball with extreme confidence, making shots around the rim, couple layups, and defensively just being in tune on Buddy Hield late in that game. So game ball to KCP.
All right, LeBron, appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
So LeBron James, you heard him say it, I feel good, I feel great. Played 38 minutes. That's what he was referencing several times in that interview. 3 steals for him, 4 block shots for Anthony Davis. When your 2 stars are giving that effort defensively, I mean, that leads to the rest of the team giving that same effort, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you have your best players lead on that defensive end, it makes coaching easy. It makes other guys have to fall in line. And he said he has his quick twitch back. Anytime you're talking about a great player like that has been playing this long, basically is raving about he has his athleticism back, that's scary for me because usually after 16, 17 years in the league, you don't say you have your athleticism back. He is saying this thing, so that's a little scary for the rest of the league.
He's saying it, and we're seeing it. 35 years old, the stuff he's doing. You just wonder, is he ever going to slow down? And that's what every coach in the NBA is wondering, too.
LeBron James, I mean, it's almost like you see a play like this, and then you forget that this is year 17.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I mean, he's playing above the rim. He's looking like the fastest player on the court, getting steals, leading to fast breaks, and the vision, the IQ is there. And for the Lakers to start the season the way that they have now, on top of the Western Conference, it seems like all the pieces are fitting together. I mean, last year was the groin injury on Christmas where you thought, is this it? Is this the time where possibly you see LeBron James take a step back? And clearly not.
And I think having more responsibility, he's always handled the basketball and made plays unselfishly, but he is exclusive their starting point guard, Stan, and that takes a lot to be able to still score 29 and then get a lead the league in assists at his age. I am impressed of what he's doing right now, and this team still hasn't built that chemistry yet.
Yeah, no, look, what they're doing, which I think is great, is they're relying on their defense while they build the chemistry. And so they can get time to do that, even though the offense has been a struggle because they've been the #1 defense in the league. And that's not going to change anytime soon. With LeBron playing as hard as he is, with Anthony Davis on that team, with wing guys like Avery Bradley, KCP, and Danny Green, and then Dwight Howard to finish games, that defense is going to stay solid. It's going to give them a chance to build their offense, and they're as good got as good a chance as anybody to win the championship.
And now we're watching, okay, who's going to continue to lead the league in wins and who's going to have the best record? The Lakers get their 10th win, and the Boston Celtics, they follow suit, starting the season 10-1. They've actually won 10 straight games, their best start since 2007-2008 season. Remember what they did there, won the championship. Highlights coming your way next on Game Time.
Harden with a timer and 5. He'll take the first shot of the game, and it's on the money. Harden with back-to-back triples. Harden heating up in the fourth. Harden pulls the trigger from deep. Buries a three. James Harden with 42 and 12 in the final frame.
Well, James Harden came into Friday night with the most points scored through the first 11 games in the past 50-plus years. And, oh, yeah, the most by someone not named Wilt Chamberlain. The bearded one, playing without Clint Capella, no problem. Just another day at the office. And at the office, we mean the box office. We mean the MVP office. We mean the why are you not sending more people to guard him office, Stan?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, obviously they've got a lot of three-point shooting and they don't want to leave people open, but this guy, I think, requires more than one defender, Smitty.
I think so, and I think he requires picking him up real early, like half court, making him make a decision to get out of his hands, sometimes at least.
20 points in the first half, then a above-the-rim play by TJ Leaf. Then Doug McDermott giving the Pacers a 4-point lead in the fourth quarter. But Harden was on his game. Ooh, a little smitty there.
Man, you give him a little smitty.
The kid, I know they don't shoot mid-range, but I just think he has the ability to post up and also be just as effective.
So James Harden closing this one out. 44 points. There should be a logo there so we could try to figure out how deep he was.
Wow.
And the bearded one takes over. 44, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals as well. It's the 71st 40-point, 5-assist game for James Harden. That's now one behind Oscar Robertson. Still has a lot to do to catch one, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. So what we saw what James Harden has been able to do early, well, it's still early in the season, but the first 5 or 6 games, it was about his shooting percentages not being where you'd like. Well, they've won 6 in a row, partly because that's headed in the right direction.
You know, and I think he puts so much work into his game. He loves to actually play. You see videos throughout the summer. He's playing pickup. He's working out. So his endurance and his want to be good and his want to be the best, he's adding stuff every year to his game. He loves contact. His endurance level for me to be able to have this type of run with this attention has been unbelievable, Stan.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. This is not a guy who ever sits out games, and it seems like I'm sure a lot of guys sit there and say, hey, well, give me the ball that many times. I'll do the same thing. I don't know. It's a rare ability to take on that kind of usage and be able to consistently create shots, possession after possession, night after night, all year long. What he's doing is amazing.
Yeah, and that's the reason he has an MVP trophy on that shelf, still chasing a championship. The 76ers have played 4 games this year without Joel Embiid. They've given up 16 more points per game. And they've given up about 8 rebounds more per game when he sits. Good thing, Philly got their star center back in the lineup. Again, they're 5-2 with Embiid. And the Sixers, they came out looking like that team. Tobias Harris for 3. Snaps an 0-for-23 streak from behind the arc for him. Then Joel Embiid left open, and we know he has a good stroke. Philadelphia head 12-3. Thunder staying close.
Whoa, wait, that surprised me on that one.
Yeah, Baisley, who's been more of just a 3-point shooter, but great athleticism there.
How about the veteran Danilo Gallinari with the nice finish and a nice pass to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Thunder ahead by 5.
Okay, Al. Was a little
With the
short.
miss, Ben Simmons like, here, I'll give it right back to you.
Got a little bit more arc on that one.
Simmons, 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. That's a good stat line for him. 1 of those rebounds, 2 of those points coming there. The Sixers looking like they're rolling.
Well, all these
late in the fourth.
plays, the ball has started in the paint for them. And
Yes.
the next thing you know, it's been kicked out. That's all these plays have started in the paint.
Well, that's their game. I mean, they're a team that scores in the paint. Embiid has shot it a lot better this year. I think he was under 30% last year, closer to 40% from 3 early in the season.
Tied at 107, Gallinari for the win, and we go to OT instead. In that extra session, Embiid, double team.
Wow.
Nice touch, 31 points, 12 rebounds. But then Chris Paul, that's too much space for him. Seals
He
the
got
deal.
the switch on to Furkan Korkmaz, who's really done a nice job offensively, but that's not his game there.
OKC with the win, 127-119 in overtime. You see Chris Paul with 27 points, Danilo Gallinari with 28, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 24. But again, those 2 veterans for OKC in Danilo Gallinari and Chris Paul. How impressed are you with the way they're performing right now, especially in this particular game?
You know, what I love is they're allowing these young guys to succeed as well. And also they're showing leadership and being able to take over. And they're playing better than what we will project them to be. What I like what Chris is doing, we know he's a guy that's been a ball-dominant point guard. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's kicking ahead, he's throwing to him, he's letting him make plays. And he's picking his spots, Chris Paul, to dominate and make plays down the stretch. Smart, always going to be a competitor. So I love the way Chris Paul, what he's doing for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah, and the same with Gallinari. Look, Gallinari's always been a great offensive player in this league. It's just been a matter of health with him. You know, offensively, he can shoot the 3 as he's shooting it this year over 40%. He's got a great first step. He can get to the free throw line, and he's a 90% free throw shooter. This guy's very difficult to stop.
Yeah, for him in his career, it's just a matter of him staying on the court, being healthy. When he is, he's effective. Speaking of which, an effective scorer in this league, Carmelo Anthony has signed a non-guaranteed contract with the Portland Trail Blazers. They're starting a 6-game road trip. They've lost 6 of their last 7. Melo last played an NBA game on November 8th of 2018. That's more than a full year out of the league. His closest friends were elated for his return. LeBron, our very own Dwayne Wade, we can claim him now. It's about something time, and then LeBron James co-signing that, right? And then also Jamal Crawford, very talented scorer, still looking for another opportunity in the league as well. Sending some congratulations. So Smitty, at 35, a full year off for Carmelo Anthony. Is that too long of a time to be out of the NBA to try to come back and be in that kind of shape?
It's too long for me because I don't understand why he wasn't in the league. And I understand where there's different things going around, Stan. Just for me, on the outside looking in, I never could understand why. And people say, well, he's a ball stopper. I'm watching a lot of these teams right now dribble, 1 or 2 man dominant. At least with Melo, in my opinion, watching him offensively, it's been quick first steps. It's not he takes a lot of volume shots, but he's a scorer. And there's guys now standing that dribble. I don't see that from a Carmelo Anthony.
No, and look, scoring's at a premium. It's hard to find guys like that. And I agree with what Sam Mitchell said on Crunch Time. The isolation's only a problem if you can't score and you can't create shots for your teammates. Look, Carmelo Anthony's one of the best scorers in the history of this league. Certainly he can help somebody off the bench.
Especially you're 29th in catch and shoot. You're one of the last teams in field goal percentage at 44%, also struggling to score in the paint. That's something that Carmelo Anthony can do. This week, it's made for TV. Melo not expected to play on Monday night. That would have been a great one, Smitty, to see him face the last team he played for, the Houston Rockets. But on Tuesday, Melo is expected to play against the New Orleans Pelicans. The Auto Trader pregame show starts at 7:30 on both of those days. Mike Conley.
Grind has defied the Memphis Grizzlies for the better part of 6 years. That was gorgeous. Conley will let it fly, and Conley hits it. Wide out.
Grit and grind is the Grizzlies' identity.
Well, Memphis, they've been grinding all their lives. The grit and grind era officially came to an end with Mike Conley heading to Utah. The Grizzlies' all-time leader in points, assists, steals, and games came back as a visiting player for the first time on Friday night. Conley getting to smell the roses before tonight's game. Conley's replacement, the 2nd overall pick in the draft, Ja Morant. Oh, he's special.
Oh, yes, he is.
That's Smitty's under the rim nominee.
It is, for sure.
I think he's going to be on that list every week for you.
He plays above the rim as well, though.
Yeah, he can be on
Here we
both.
go.
Speaking of which,
There we go.
He
right
can be on Smitty's thing, and he can be on Shaq's dunks.
That's a Diesel Dunks nominee.
Yes,
Good job,
it is.
Stan. You're getting how this show works. Donovan Mitchell, also one of those guys.
That is a nice touch floater.
Yeah, he's really good on these.
And off the glass,
mid-range.
too.
Very nice.
29 points, 9 rebounds from Donovan. Ja Morant, once again, attacking the rim like he's got a vendetta.
Oh, my God.
That is this year's Rookie of the Year, by the way, guys.
For sure.
Then Morant tells Emmanuel Mudiay, you're too small.
I mean, the one thing I love about him is he's definitely telling people he's too small. He goes right into their chest. And that was Tony Allen. He likes that.
And that's probably an and one right there.
Mike Conley on the other end. knocking down the three. Just 5 for 19 from the field, 15 points though. Game tied in the fourth quarter. Ja Morant getting the rock. He knows what to do with it.
Yes, indeed. He has touch, he has athleticism, and he has vision. He's a total package, and I love that he's always in attack.
And he can finish with either hand. We just saw the right hand. But this one, trying to go up with this with space on Rudy Gobert, not a good decision.
Last chance for the Jazz, 2.8 seconds left. And how about some more defense to end the game? Memphis improves to 3-0 on the season in games decided by 3 points or less. Ja Morant, again, leading all rookies in points and assists, 25 points, 8 assists on Friday. Here he is following the victory.
I know you've had a lot of questions the last 24 hours about Mike Conley's return here tonight. How was the matchup, and did you have any little chip on your shoulder to motivate you anymore?
Now, I always have that chip on my shoulder. It's going to stay there. It's what I had to go through to get to this point. I'm going to carry it everywhere I go. I'm going to play with it. Every night you can count on me being aggressive and coming out and compete.
You had a moment together there at the end of the game. What did you say to him?
I just told him a good job and good luck on the rest of his career. And he told me that I was doing good and the city's going to be behind me for a long time.
Certainly does not lack in the confidence department. Look, in those games that we mentioned decided by 3 points or less, he had the block against Kyrie Irving. That was a signature moment. He had a game-winning shot the last time we saw them. And then tonight. So Ja stepping up in big situations for Memphis, getting their 5th win.
You know, there's so much you can talk about, you know, the skill set and the athleticism. But one thing I love saying is this kid has a motor for winning. You know, there's some guys that play hard, but it's for self. This kid plays to win, and he wants to win. He wants to compete. And you can see on this right here, his shot has a little funky hitch, but he's knocking down 44% of them. Like you said, Stan, he doesn't take a lot, so he understands I'm just not going to jack. But what he does best is put pressure on you by driving the basketball. And I love there's pressure, and it doesn't knock him off course. And for a smaller guy to go in the chest of Rudy Gobert, he's 6'3", 175, to go in the chest and move Rudy back. And also the competition of where he's staring people down, Stan. That kid has that moxie.
He does. And, you know, look, coming out last year, I only saw him a couple times in college, but what I was most impressed with was his passing. We haven't even seen as much of that this year because he has to score for this team. They're not great offensively. He has to score. You start putting some more people around him, we're going to see a whole nother element to his game.
Certainly Ja Morant, you know, the strength that he shows, like you said, Schmitty, it seems like you look at him, you think he's young and slender, but he does have that power to go along with that. Andrew Wiggins, well, he's emerged the last 5 games playing at an all-star level. Out Friday night against the Wizards due to a death in his family. The T-Wolves trying to beat the Wizards. They did so without Towns a few weeks ago. Towns back in the lineup this time around. And it's Bradley Beal that got off to a strong start for Washington. On the break, taking it. Then Beal, this is really the strength of his game. Finding some space to create and finishing.
Yeah.
Washington takes the 4-point lead.
And what I love is when you watch him in Florida, he basically plays small forward, and I see him right now. He had the ability as a 2-guard, but they were so small. He played a lot of 3, and you can see the toughness from him.
Karl Anthony Towns, 36 points, 10 rebounds. Jeff Teague, 13 points, 11 assists. But Beal coming out hot in the third quarter as well. 44 points on just 22 shots. Stan, he added 10 assists.
Well, that's where I think, you know, he's really great. We know he's a great scorer, but he can really make plays. And I think last year and this year without John Wall, he has shown that. Right there to Mo Wagner, who had a huge night.
30 points, 15 rebounds for Mo Wagner. Yeah, you can scream when you do that, even when you're making layups, not dunking on people. We get it. You put up the numbers, and the Wizards get the win, 137-116. Bradley Beal, the first player since Carmelo Anthony in 2013 to have back-to-back road games with 40 points while shooting over 60% from the field. Well, coming up, Smitty takes us under the rim. You're watching Game Time, presented by State Farm.
We have a dunk champion who's taking over in Chicago. We have 2 Chainz and, of course, Trey TL, Ice Trader Game, all for you right here.
Behind the back. Oh, what a pass! How did he see it?
Nasty.
Sauce. Too much sauce. Yes! Wow!
Look out. Slight 8.
Are you kidding me?
Nice.
Boy, you got to see it all right there.
Catch the latest episode of Hot Tops Saturday at noon right here on NBA TV. A lot of those plays look like plays we're about to see. They look like they're under the rim nominees.
Yeah, we get a chance each week. Got you guys with me, Stan and Chris. We get a chance to go under the rim when a lot of guys play. Everybody can't dunk, Chris. Everybody can't dunk like you.
Some of my favorite plays are guys under the rim.
Okay, let's start off. Well, did you like? You were too young. You were too young, Chris, to remember this.
Oh yeah, MJ stole that one from you. The baseline move, yeah.
I appreciate you. Well, we're going to start off number 5. I will say Lonzo Trier has added a little bit to the Smitty. And he's going with his right hand, but then it's the step-back jumper. Not bad, Stan. I like this one.
Yeah, that is
That's
nice.
the one I'm going to have to ask Alonzo about this one. He put the step back into it. That's at 5. Now we're going to number 4. This kid, Stan, he's special because he's always in attack mode.
He's one of my favorite guys to watch right now. I'm cheap. There's not a lot of guys I'd actually pay to watch. I'd pay to watch him.
What about this nickname, the ambidextrous specialist? You with that, Stan?
But I do like this right here with the lefty.
Oh,
You like that one?
yeah,
Gotta
I
get
love
some
it.
more.
I love watching Ja play.
does.
You kidding me?
He loves to finish with the left,
Okay, Ja.
with his right.
Let him know he's too small. Boy, he don't have not one muscle. He's still tough, though. Love you, Ja. This is one of my favorite right here. Luka the Don, the nickname, and also what we've done with him. Okay, this kid right here gets the rebound. A little bit of a Larry Bird.
Oh, Julius Randle.
Julius
looking the wrong
Randle.
way.
Come on now, don't get your hands up like he's a big. You gotta play D. Luka. Now number 2. Darius Garland. Talk to me, Chris.
Oh,
You're New York City
1, 2.
point guard.
He's dancing with him.
You're in New York City
He got him
point
some
guard.
game and some bop in it. That's what it is.
I love bop in this game, doesn't he?
Oh, hit him 3 times.
Yeah, he did.
He got him. That was a lot.
And you know, when
play.
you're in the league for defense, like Tyler is,
This one right here, Ice Trader Game, he's catching some guys and he's making guys look silly. I mean, Will Barton, then he knocks it down, and don't stare at the bench.
you got to make the shot when you do that.
You have
Yes,
to,
you
but
do
the
have
stare.
to make the shot.
Look at the stare
Which
down.
he did.
Oh, I want to know what you do as a defender, other than foul him hard.
You got to get low, right?
You can't get that low.
Oh.
Smitty, in your day, that's what they would have
You
done.
got to just foul him,
They
right?
would have fouled him
You got to once he
hard.
throws, you just got to chuck him. But Ice Trey is not only doing this to Denver, he did this against Ricky Rubio.
2 times.
in Phoenix. And then he got the nice little floater.
If it's not luck, you got to repeat it. And he's
You
doing
have
it.
to. I mean, the one thing you love about it, because you got to get in your defensive stance. You can't stand with your legs close to
No, you can't.
This is one thing he's doing a good job of taking advantage of defenders.
I mean, you see
That's
that
number
all the
one.
time in the park, but to see it in the league, that's crazy.
Yeah, the park is different than the NBA.
Yes, it is.
Well, it's
People take it a little personal.
different level of competition.
Okay.
Nice Trey. Well, that's good for the number 1 spot. Okay, the Spurs, they're streaking in the wrong direction. And the Magic, the latest team to beat up on Pop's group. And Malik Monk sealed the win against the Pistons, fading away from the top of the key for 3. Highlights continue next on Game Time. The latest episode is those poster dunks you just saw. Join the list Facebook group. All right, the Spurs and the Magic. San Antonio looking to stop a 3-game skid. DeMar DeRozan looking to get off to a hot start to make that happen. The finish with the flotation in the paint.
He's shooting a high percentage, and he's scoring it. And the one thing right now for me, they don't have a balance of offense and defense, and that's surprising with the Spurs.
Yeah, they struggled defensively last year also and were able to get by with it. But, yeah, they do struggle to get stops.
Well, they built a 14-point lead, and as you can see, it looked good until the second half. Markelle Fultz looking good and healthy, Smitty.
I'm just so happy for this kid. So much pressure. And obviously he had the shoulder problems, but getting a chance to play basketball, he's looking pretty good with the Magic.
Terrence Ross, 20 points off the bench for Orlando, and they take the lead. Then Fultz finding Evan Fournier with 2 minutes to go, and the Magic ahead 104-102. Fournier trying to play some good defense. DeMar DeRozan finishing in the paint.
DeRozan's amazing. He's a guy who can get you 20 every night and doesn't shoot threes.
Fournier does shoot threes.
That was a tough one right there.
Deadly, giving the Magic a 3-point lead. Then here, Aaron Gordon going to the hole.
I didn't see flagrant foul.
Flagrant?
He's up around the
not near
shoulder.
that.
So,
That's what it is.
you know, he certainly didn't mean to. There
Right.
was certainly no intent there. But when you get up around that shoulder area, today's game, that's going to be a flagrant. And that decided the game.
Very decisive. Orlando wins 111-109. They improved to 5-7 on the season. The San Antonio Spurs have now lost 6 of their last 7 games, 4 in a row. Greg Popovich popping off.
LA had no points in the first half. Second half, he scores 13. Any particular difference?
Yeah, in the first half, he didn't score. In the second half, he scored 13.
Fair enough. Murray, 2 points in the second half, 8 points in the first.
Anybody got any question that makes sense beside when a player scored in the first or second half? Happens all the time.
Rebound.
Anything else?
Thank you, Coach.
Stan, your kind of interview, huh?
I love it. Pop is a great interview.
The Pistons and the Hornets, Andre Drummond and company, dunking something. Then Blake Griffin, just his second game this season, mouse in the house, lefty finish. Blake, 19 points, 6 assists. Hornets respond, Malik Monk, Smitty.
Oh, that's a nice move.
That
I mean,
is a great left-handed
transition. Caught the defense, not been able to build a wall, and they're scoring. When you see a lot of layups, it's not good if you're the other team.
The Pistons have struggled 2 years in a row giving up points in the paint, and they certainly did tonight.
Langston Galloway, 7 for 11 from three-point range, 32 points off the bench for the Pistons. So the Hornets down 3 with 30 seconds left. What do you see here?
Well, they switch out, and Drummond is on Marvin Williams. Now he turns to run into the paint up 3. You see Blake Griffin raise his hands. What are you doing? But if 5-man is conditioned, block shots go to the boards, and he leaves him open. And then here they're going for the last shot, and they don't even get a shot. Blake Griffin said their spacing wasn't right. They turn it over, and then here we've seen this. They clear it out. If you watch, Cody Zeller's wide open on the backside. They don't find him, and Monk makes a really difficult shot.
Fading away, top of the key from deep.
Hey, it's a
Bottom.
tough shot, but give them credit. They knocked it down, but they put themselves in position to be able to win this game.
Yeah, they did with a great stop at the end. They found Marvin Williams first to tie it, and then they get a big stop when Detroit's holding for the last shot.
So the Charlotte Hornets snap a 4-game losing streak. Monk, Terry Rozier, 19 points apiece. About Devontae Graham, 18 points, 10 assists, leading them in scoring on the season, averaging 18. Here's Monk on his game-winning shot.
Talk about what you saw in that moment. How did you just hit that shot?
Coach drew up a nice play. Back screen for Tay, because Tay been hot all year. He been making up shots. Everybody playing him hard. They went with the back screen. I just came off and got an open shot.
This win tonight, can you just talk about how important and how big? I mean, it was an emotional game. You guys fought from the start. How big was this win tonight?
Yeah, we lost 2 in a row. We needed this one. We got a big road trip ahead of us, and we started out with a win, so we got to get one tomorrow.
Well, a guy knows a thing or two about game-winning shots, Uncle Drew. We spent a day in the life with him. You don't want to miss that. That's coming up on Game Time.
Brought to you by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 1-800-STATE-FARM.
Well, things haven't gone well for the Nets on their current road trip, but for Kyrie Irving, his New York City homecoming has made all the difference. Let's tag along for a day with Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn via Instagram.
What's up, everyone? This is Kyrie, and this is my 3-minute autobiography. We're in Industry City right now, headed to the entrance of our practice. Being back in New York is just nothing like it. Growing up in the projects, trying to find a way out, basketball was an outlet for my dad, and that trickled down to me. I had a choice when I was younger to commit myself to a craft that has given me more opportunities than I could think of. I enjoy working, I enjoy traveling, I enjoy being a voice of change for the community. If you have that chance to be home and do it, it's kind of second to none. Today we have like a big scrimmage. We're just trying to get back into the swing of things, but specifically me. I got hit in my face again, had a fracture in my face, and I had to wear the mask. And the whole little personality that was created about Mask Kyrie and how I perform with it on, but I actually strongly dislike it. I want to have my peripheral vision, so here we are. We're outside of our practice facility right now, and this for me is just so nostalgic. Every time I come in to the gates here, you know, I was a fourth grade kid. I wrote it in my closet that I was gonna make it to the NBA. I always had this hidden dream that I was gonna be a New Jersey Net. So dreams do come true, y'all.
Team, 1, 2, 3. Team.
Oh! Wait!
I got you, Jay. And we had just a great day today. It's so great being part of a family like that. The guys that I've played against in my few years in the league, but now being on a team with them, there's a different appreciation for the intangibles they bring to the table as people first, and then as teammates. Now we're just riding around Brooklyn. This is the way I go home. I absolutely love it. There's a sense of like comfortability that's always there every time I'm at home, no matter what. My sister was just over my house. You know, my friends come over, or it's just me in the house, or it's just me and my fiance. Women in my family hold a very special place as queens. When I see them, like my daughter, named her after my mom, she's a huge influence and inspiration in my life and why I do the things I do. Before, it was like having a slice of home when I used to come here and play as an opponent, but now it's like every day I wake up doing what I love in the place I want to be. So, you know, this is a great opportunity for me because I'm out of my comfort zone even doing this. I've posted a lot of things on Instagram, different excerpts from different authors, really just trying to put great energy and shift consciousness out here. So, you know, I appreciate you, Instagram, for following me through the day, and I'm out.
Well, Kyrie Irving averaging a career high in points and assists, but his concern going into Saturday's game against the Bulls, the Nets' inability to finish teams off in the second half. Following Thursday's game against Denver, Uncle Drew opened up.
You know, when you come out of halftime and you're up 15 in Utah and you're up 12 in this game, you know, that's just a telltale sign that we still have growth in different areas, especially on the defensive end. When teams make their runs, we just got to be able to respond the right way, just settle ourselves down, really go into our offensive package and just run the plays that work for us, continue to do the things that got us to lead. But, you know, it's just another level that you got to take it to coming out of halftime. And, you know, I think the last two games we failed to do so. And, you know, that just starts, you know, just with all of us just communicating, being there for each other and understanding that, you know, teams, there's a certain trend that, you know, can start to happen if you don't fix it now, where you're coming out of halftime and teams jump back on you. And, you know, also another level is just the expectation of just being on a team where everyone wants to beat you. And now you're at a different level every single night where defenses are going to be geared to obviously loading up on me, but, you know, they're just going to pick up their physicality and test us.
Okay, so the final sentence that I said there, Smitty, you can look at it in the stats. The Nets, they're sixth in the league in scoring, but their three guards, Kyrie Irving, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Karis LeVert, they're taking 52 shots a game, and they're shooting beneath 44%. How do they fix that problem that they have with their guards carrying that offense and being inefficient?
Well, I think for them is to be engaged on making plays for others. Also, those guys are so talented. Well, sometimes when you're so talented and you can get your own stand, the game always looks easy to you. But I think as a player, you got to figure it out to incorporate. I need 2 or 3 dunks for Jared Allen. I need 2 or 3 dunks for DeAndre Jordan. And I have to get Prince and the other guys 4 or 5 wide open looks. Now, if they don't make them, and they're not making the dunks, and they're not making any free throws, and then I think you change your mindset where I got to be a little bit more selfish now to score. But those guys are so good, they just got to figure out how to get other guys shot who doesn't have the ball in their hand that can't create for themselves.
Absolutely. But look, you know where I'm always going to go, okay? Their offense is fine, regardless of how they're going about it. And certainly it would be good if they would help their bigs. It might motivate them more at the other end and things like that. But their problem's on the defensive end of the floor. You want to hold on to a lead, you got to get stops. And they're not getting many stops. This is one of the worst defensive teams in the league right now. That's what has to change for Brooklyn. Their offense is solid. They're going to score points.
So to keep a team engaged defensively, right, doesn't it help when you're sharing the ball? For instance, they're 20th in assists this year. If they got that number up, if they were sharing the ball more, wouldn't they have a better effort on defense?
I think so, right, Smitty? I mean, and especially I think with the big guys. They've got two good defensive anchors with Jared Allen and DeAndre Jordan. You got to get them involved offensively so they feel like playing. Same with Taurean Prince, who can be very good defensively. If those guys get shots, they'll definitely give you a little bit more on the defensive end of the floor.
4-7 to start the season. It feels like this team, you know, the expectations without KD aren't through the roof, but it feels like they're better than 4-7, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I think also, unfortunately for them, we're going to gauge them on the way they played last year. This is a team that was been on the rise. You know, they've been down in the dumps, but you saw them coming. And then when you always add superstars, the outside expectation says it's going to happen right now. It's going to take some time, especially for them like to gel on the chemistry part on both ends. And so I think after about 20 games, though, then you start to reveal who you really are.
As long as Kyrie Irving is there, they're a box office team. So on Saturday, they face the Chicago Bulls at 6 o'clock. The Auto Trader pregame show starts at 5:30. Zach LaVine leading the Bulls and scoring at over 20 a game. Kobe White also playing.